Hello, how's it going? Tom O'Mahony here. You're all very welcome to episode 13. Unlucky for some. Fuck it, I had to say that, didn't I? It's for the 21st of June. Sorry, this one's a little late too, but it's not as late as last week's one, but it's kind of been a fucking bananas week. It's been all over the shop with all sorts, and we'll get to it soon enough. We'll get to it. Yeah, so it's the 21st of June 2017. You're all very welcome. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, you're probably listening to it on iTunes or SoundCloud or Stitcher or one of those. We're on all of them. So why not subscribe, share it with your friends, tell them all about how much fun this is. Loads of fun this week. It was a bizarre one. I was in the Laughter Lounge, the ever lovely Laughter Lounge, for 3 nights over the weekend. It was hot as fuck. But the lounge was actually surprising. I mean, it was full house, which is like close to 300 people, and it wasn't actually as hot as I was expecting. But it's a weird thing we were talking about. Like you're standing at the back or whatever, and you're grand, and it's not too hot, and then you get on stage and you do your set, and it's like, yeah, I don't really notice this, and it's only in the last like 5 seconds of your set you realise, oh, there's a waterfall of sweat running down my back into the crack of my ass. It's and it seems to be a communal feeling amongst all the other comedians. I was on with who was on? Ian Coppinger, Gar Murren was hosting, and Aidan Bishop was on. So it was fun. It was a fun weekend. I got a compliment off a lady. She jumped off her stool, and you know what? I was kind of hardy Dublin ladies. She had a voice like that. She says, "Here we are. She may I want a word with you," which translates to, "Dear sir, I would like to have a word with you." She says, "Come here. Yes, were fucking brilliant," which I'm taking as another compliment. I mean, it's as good as she was about to give anyway, so I just went along with it. I was like, thank you very much, madam. For some reason I got ridiculously posh, even though I'm not posh. I just got ridiculously posh as soon as this went, "Hey, we fucking Jesus." I wasn't surprised when I was leaving later on. Like, she was still smoking the old she was smoking a Super King cigarette out of the door. She says, "Ta-ra now, love, have a good night." As if like she was speaking to me too like I was visiting, you know what I mean? Like, fair play to him, coming up from down the country. And it wasn't, I mean, but so I'll take it. I was down the country though, but by Jesus, the heat, lads. What are we doing? 28, 29 degrees in Ireland in June. Fuck. We're all delighted with it for the first minute or two, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Because we're just not built for it here at all. We're just not built for it. Thermologically, physically, mentally, we're just not built for the heat here. And you see, like, I mean, no, I think very few races or nationalities are. Even like the Spaniards fuck off for 2 hours in the middle of the day. Even they're like, "El foco, I'm not having this, oh," and they fuck off for a siesta during the middle of the day. I mean, we of course plough on like big sweaty fucking heads in us. The Americans have air conditioning in every single fucking thing. They have air conditioning, in their fucking shoes, because they know how it works. And it was funny, I was talking with a friend, he's from Florida, and he said it a couple of weeks ago, "God, man, I miss the heat." The same guy's fucking ginger. He's foxy, like. And you're like, what? What do you mean you miss the heat? He's like, I said, but I guarantee you don't walk around in it. He's like, no, fuck no. I said, well, what do you miss? Looking at the heat out through a fucking cold glass window of your car. Nobody likes this much fucking heat. Even I can guarantee you there's Aborigines in Australia are still going, fuck it. The Eskimos have this shit fucking wrapped up, don't they? Huh? At least you can fucking choose you can choose to be warm in a cold environment. You no fucking choice. Kicking off the duvet last night, covered in fucking midgie bites, backs of the fucking knees sweaty, back of the knees sweaty. Like, that's just fucking rank. I'm not complaining, really. Like, I'm just kind of pointing out the points of it. I mean, but like 18 degrees, that's lovely. That's perfect. You can get a day's fucking work done. You can walk around without feeling fucking vile. Once it goes into the mid-20s and upwards, like, fuck off. This place isn't built for it. Road starts fucking turning to liquid. Literally, the floor is fucking lava. Tarmac starts shifting all over the fucking place. Zebra crossings start getting all zigzaggy. I did go down home for Father's Day. See the old man. I don't think Dad even knew it was fucking Father's Day. He's like, "Oh, lovely. Although Mother had made a cake and whatnot. But I think he's just happy that it's a day and he's getting stuff. He's like, lovely. Who invented this fucking thing? He's an easygoing kind of a fella. What we did, we went down, visited the grandparents as well. Gave him a present. He was showing me we gave him a pocket watch. And his first reaction was, Jesus, I'll need a tractor to carry this thing around. Like, say thanks, you bollocks. I think he was just joking. He was just jossing. He's a funny old bastard, in fairness to old Tom. They got to meet the new dog. Of course, the dog was losing its fucking bananas. Dog was starting to behave itself all of a sudden, goes into the grandparents, turns into the fucking Tasmanian devil. It's like, Christ above, stop making a fucking holy show of us. But she did nonetheless. But yeah, 28 fucking degrees. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Holy fuck. So she has the dog as an update. She's not as chewing as I got a heads up off somebody before to stop the dog from chewing on shit, because apparently they're teething. I don't know anything about this shit. She's biting on some squeaky thing over there. She's after surprising herself by the fucking squeakiness of the thing she's chewing on. Was to rub Bonjela onto their teeth for babies teething. Fucking Bonjela, can you believe that? And it works. I don't know if it works. The fucking dog just eats it straight. Like she fucking loves it. She sees the tube coming now. She's like, lovely. But it does. It seems to slow her down and her giddy up all right for biting shit. But she's stopped actually shitting indoors already. It's fucking great. Apparently it's quite quick. I mean, I had a word with her and she seemed to kind of go, yeah, I get you, Tom. I get you. It's completely fucking bang out of order. She, stopped shit. So that's a stress level that I didn't need. You know what I mean? I didn't mind it, like, but still all the same. It's one less thing to have to deal with. There she is, squeaking that fucking thing and still getting surprised by it. Yeah, I suppose if you didn't know about these things, it would shock you. You know what I mean? If you went to bite into a sandwich and all of a sudden the thing started squeaking, it'd freak you out too, wouldn't it? I had a bit of a revelation in the last couple of days. We have been without internet or TV or laptop. The internet thing had shit itself. Like, we'd gone for, in the last place we had the Sky, and said fuck it. And we've been putting it off in the new place, because I dumped the Sky out of it because it was just a load of shite. And we've been putting it off on getting in. Do you know the one-off payment thing where you can just get one fucking box and it sorts out the whole thing? It was just something I never got around to, because I don't watch that much telly. But if I was, then I'd stream it through the laptop and plug it into it. But the laptop decided to shit the absolute bed. Nothing happening. Not even a croak or a death fucking groan. It just went, nah, not turning on. But I swear to God, like, alright, there's stuff to be done on the laptop and things like that, like editing this fucking podcast, but do you know how much shit I've gotten done in the last 5 fucking nights? The last 4 nights? It's unbelievable. The amount of time fucking I was still doing stuff around the place at like 10 o'clock last night. Fucking putting up shelves and things that I've been putting off for... Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. I don't know, could I do it? You know what I mean? Could I have the discipline to go, right, I'm turning off the telly or pulling the plug on the thing, because I'm as weak as fuck when it comes to these kind of things. But I swear to God, just don't pay your fucking subscription for a month or whatever if you've got a ton of things to do. I've heard about these writer retreats and things like that where people go into the countryside and they pay €1,000 for a week to go, you know, with their fucking laptop with no internet connection and just finish writing a thing if they're under pressure. It fucking works. It absolutely fucking works. I've gotten a ton of shit done in the last fucking couple of days. Well, I needed some time on my hands yesterday, but oh, for fuck's sake. The worst case scenario yesterday. But a handful of things you don't want spilling in the car, and one of them is milk. It wasn't milk that spilled in the car yesterday. See, I've been a crafty bastard the last couple of weeks. Last couple of months, I say. We got a fill of oil kerosene out the fucking back, and 300 litres of it. And it all miraculously got stolen. Well, or went missing, evaporated inside 2 weeks. A certain group of people are known to steal kerosene around the area, and there goes the fucking dog again. And they hit us. So I said, fuck that, I'm not buying 300 fucking litres at a time anymore. I'm just going to buy it in like 20 fucking gallon drums. And that's what I've been doing. Great, man, topping it up as I need it. Couldn't fucking get the 20 gallon drum thing, wouldn't fit. So I had a couple of jerry cans. One of them fucking tipped over anyway. Long story short, tipped over in the back of the fucking car. In the boot of the car. Oh, sweet suffering Jesus. Now, I don't mind the smell of petrol and the smell of kerosene when it's at the petrol station, but when it's in your eyes, oh, sweet Jesus Christ. Fucking washing the back inside of the fucking car yesterday like some sort of degenerate, and it still stinks. It's still I mean, the car you could perform surgeries in the boot of the car right now, but it still fucking stinks. I don't know, I fucked out a load of the carpet stuff. Mother of Jesus Christ. So I needed time on my hands. I may have to just set fire to the fucking car and just claim the insurance and walk away from it and just get another one. So I don't know if I can fucking hack that shit. start getting all high, driving to fucking gigs and stuff. It'd make for some interesting shit, wouldn't it? But I was down home, called to the fucking, in with the folks, fucking prezzies and grub all round. And I wanted to see, I don't know if you've looked at check out my like page, the Tom O'Mahony Comedian like page on Facebook. You'll see I put up, just to let me know what you think of the cooking videos that I put up. I do a bit of cursing and swearing, and I'm alright to try and make it lighthearted. And I keep them short, they're only like a minute and a half long. And I've done ham hocks, smoked ham hocks, and I've done smoked, what the fuck is the other thing I did? Oh, leg of lamb, yeah. And I wanted to do brisket. I've never even eaten, I don't think I've eaten brisket unless it was in a sandwich of some sort. I think I ate it before, but it's a big American thing, brisket. It's again the same mate that was over from, he's from Florida, he lives up in Kildare. He was saying, fucking love a bit of smoked brisket. And it seems like a big fucking job, like 10 hours on the fucking smoker or whatever. But I'm going to give it a crack. So I called into a chap I went to school with. He's a couple of years older than me, but he is... Brendan Healy he has a butcher's in, and he's one of the few butchers that is actually a fucking butcher's. From a live animal walks in the back door, fucking packaged up animal goes out the fucking front door in people's bags. It's a nose to end fucking production line. It's fantastic. So I went into, because most butchers nowadays you go into. Sorry, I had to pause there for 1 second. Bloke at the door, the old like I said, internet and TV stuff are shit in the bed. So it's alright if I check the light. Yeah, check whatever you want. It's outside. If it's outside on the road, I don't give a fuck what you're checking. But I was talking about butchers, Brendan Healy's Artisan Butchers. If you're down that neck of the woods in Care, give it a look. It's all this, like most butchers nowadays, they're essentially just fucking shop assistants. And they buy in all the stuff. This is fucking walk in the front door, like I said, and out the fucking, I'll walk in the back door. Go out in the bag in the front. So you can get exactly what you're looking for. I've gone fucking mental on the barbecue. I'm turning into a complete fucking anorak. And it's like anything. It's starting to ruin it for me now. If it was nothing but cool people you were seeing on the internet or on YouTube or whatever, you'd go, oh, cool, yeah. But like you're just seeing more, like it gets to a level of anorak. And the cynical arsehole in me basically can't just let that lie. I can't go, yeah, absolutely. I just can't. Even though I love it. And I love the taste of barbecue and everything, but I hate being an anorak to anything. It's the cynic in me. It's just a prick. Cynic is a nice word for just a prick in me. I can't fucking help myself. So I got some of this brisket. Fuck knows what it could turn out, like a sod of timber. Who knows? It could be fucking rank. But it was, I doubt it. Like it was aged for a good fucking 30 days too, and it looked like even the old man who'd know a thing or two about beef, like he had a look at it, was like, oh yeah, that looks like a good animal or whatever, back when it was all together and stuff. So I'll put up the cooking video of it. But dude, check out the other ones. I'm going to do this one clean, where I'm not going to curse and swear like a fucking sailor on the thing, like I do on this thing. But I'm going to do this one clean, because I'll be actually naming a few bits and pieces. I'll be naming, like, the Artisan Butchers and Care and stuff like that. So I don't want them, you don't know how people want to be associated when you're starting to go, and this fucking yoke fucking up onto the fucking thing and fucking, so I don't know why I turned into some sort of fucking weird bloke selling scarves on the side of the road there when I was just speaking. But yeah, so that's really the jazz for the week. Upcoming gigs, you'll fucking see me around the whole place. I have a bunch of kind of silly things well, not silly things, but kind of acty things and stuff like that, and a couple of more radio stuff. But tickets are selling. You can book in the tickets anyway through Roisin Dove for the Buckshot show on the 20th of July in Galway. I can't fucking wait to go. I'm absolutely fucking loving that place. I haven't sat down. I'm going to nail down a place in Cork in the next couple of weeks. Like I said, the only other one booked in, because I'm tied up. I'll be telling you soon enough why I'm tied up with a couple of other things, but I can't really say them. Just I could say them, but it's not my call to say the things that are coming up. 26th November is the one that'll be in the UK anyway. Buckshot, that'll be in the Leicester Square Museum of Comedy, and those tickets are definitely on sale right now. So do me a favour and don't give me a fucking heart attack where 5 tickets have been sold the day of, and then all of a sudden a rush of people fucking show up. It's always nice to know that you've at least sold a show's worth of fucking tickets anyway beforehand. So yeah, feel free to tell anybody you know living in London or in around the UK. I'm going to come over for a few days and probably squeeze in a couple of short gigs in before that, just to kind of tee it up and stuff like that and get into the vibe. and obviously tell people if tickets have only sold half well enough, I'll be telling people to get the fuck there on Saturday night. But yeah, it'll be a good night out regardless. I say that like I'm some sort of party king, but it will be a big blowout because I've got a fucking fortune to work on over December, so it'll be a bit of a blowout for me beforehand. So it'd be good if you came along to that one in the UK, or feel free if you're not in the UK, come to the Galway one. Like I said, the Cork one, I'm trying to nail one down. It was fucking dates. The problem is dates of other things crossing over. Every date they offer from different venues. It's like, oh Christ, I'm somewhere else with something else. This Friday is a bizarre Friday. I've got this Ferrari thing in the morning. I think I told you about that before, where I'm kind of tied in with helping these buddies of mine out who do this Ferrari Ireland thing. I'll explain it to you more another day because we're pushing on with time here now. We don't want to drag the bollocks out of it. I've got a podcast recording on Friday, and then I got to shoot down the country because I got asked to do, I think I'm emceeing it. I don't really know what they're going to expect from me, but it's my primary school, my junior school. They're having their 100. I didn't realise it was 150 years old. This fucking school. So I think they want me to host it or something. There's a bunch of medals being given out on the night because it was always quite a good sporting school and stuff like that. So the kids have won a bunch of shit. I don't remember actually competing against really other schools and stuff when we were small, but then we were fucking savages too. You couldn't really let us out anywhere. Fucking hell, we'd end up eating the legs off of other children and stuff, like Lord of the Flies stuff, like. So I describe myself as a youngster, just a short-haired, less tanned version of that kid from Mad Max 2. Do you remember the one with the boomerang and the fucking blade on it? That was kind of me up until about the age of 22, if I'm honest. Just fucking pure savagery. I don't know who's keeping an eye on who's sporty that's listening to this. And keeping an eye on, if there's nothing else it's worth nearly looking at, just Jesus Christ, the Lions over the weekend. Holy fuck, your man Peter O'Mahony, he's fucking something else, isn't he? The guy's just pure fury. I mean, he's younger than a lot of the guys on the squad, but he's just got that look in his face that he terrified the living shit out of you. I say I don't know the man. I know Peter O'Mahony, he owns the Laughter Lounge, but fucking hell. Impressive to look that scary. I worked with a few blokes that were that fucking scary before, alright? They just scare a fucking fully grown man from 200 yards away. But yeah, let's hope they can, the test team get named tonight. So we'll see. Let's hope there's a good Irish contingent. I won't bore the bollocks off anybody who's not big into sport. You can go to a sporting one. But that's I'll be keeping an eye on that myself. So I suppose we'll plough straight on into the interview recorded a couple of days ago with a good mate of mine, Neil Delamere. He's a fucking monster in the comedy world. He's absolutely fucking brilliant. Everybody listening to this will more or less have heard of him. He's done countless TV shows, everything from science to history to just straight out comedy, panel shows and everything else. He's completely versatile, but a hell of a nice fella. He's had me support him a bunch of times when his usual sport, Garrod Farrelly, the great Garrod Farrelly, isn't opening for him or whatever. He gets me in as a sideline. He's one of the soundest blokes I've met because he's such a straight shooter. Like, and he's given me some fantastic advice down through the years. And this is a real kind of light-hearted, fun chat we had because he's a sound man from the Midlands, awfully to be exact. So I'll let you, jump on into it and enjoy it, share it about, and like I said, tell all your friends. Be fantastic. All right, without further ado, give it up for the very good, very lovely Neil Delamere. Thanks very much for doing it.
No worries at all.
We walked in on you. You were in the throes of a conversation with Boilers.
Yeah. Yeah.
What point?
That's what I like to do.
What point did she cut off? Because did she just go silent so you could have a conversation with me?
She did. Yes, she was very pleasant, wasn't she? I was just trying to arrange for a service for a boiler, and she just went. She says, "I can sort this. Like, give me 60 seconds," and then we had a conversation. And I said to her, "Oh yeah," and she went, "Yes, I didn't want to interrupt your conversation." Was that really pleasant and
what a nice woman,
courteous of her? I think she was an American, probably Midwest American, where everything was extremely polite. I think
unbelievably polite.
Yeah.
There's a mate of mine actually. He was in. He jacked in his job for how polite the place was.
Really?
He was in.
He couldn't handle that.
It was but it was gone from polite to so PC. He was in San Francisco and he was only temping. He was sticking about over there, but he had he answered the woman's phone, sorted her IT problem, and said have a lovely afternoon, madam, and hung up, and his boss came in and ripped him out of it. He says, here, man. And not kind of a case of, listen, we can't be doing this. He tore him out of it because he referred to her as madam. And that, who is he to not know, to be sure that this woman wasn't in, transition?
Wow.
So yeah, whatever word he broke it down, you were to avoid any gender specific annotations throughout the conversation. Avoid all at all costs.
Wow.
Yeah. And he said it was the straw that broke him.
And he just went, no, good luck.
Good luck, I can't. And the same fellow would be fairly liberal, too, you know what I mean? But he went, sure, she had been a lady for 10 or 15 minutes on the phone call, and she referred to her as Mary, whatever.
It's an ever-changing world, my friend.
I'm too craggy for it. I'd say you could shift faster than I could, though, because you're more liberal, I would imagine. Oh,
sure, I'm part of the what do you call the liberal urban elite now? If you live in a city altogether, yeah.
Are you liberal urban?
Well, if I live in a city and I'm liberal, then I'm liberal urban.
But you're a at heart, though.
I know, yeah, but sure, all people in Ireland are about a generation at most away from a farm.
It's only a handful of people that I can actually, because it was
who are several kind of generations as living in cities. Yeah, I think so. I think that's the big difference between the UK and Ireland, in that sometimes they don't necessarily people from the UK and Ireland don't necessarily get the differences between the two of us, but that is a huge difference.
There's 300 years of urban people there,
There's an industrial revolution, whereas we all know a farmer. Everybody knows a farmer. Everybody has a farmer in their family, and that kind of informs everything. And also, it's the biggest isn't it the biggest indigenous industry here? Maybe that and tourism kind of vying for first place. So naturally, we're going to be informed by that.
Yeah, of course.
Like my dad grew up in, you're talking about 1950 Ireland was closer to 1850 Ireland than 1950 is to now. If we're only a couple of generations removed from that, well then, that's going to inform our thinking, has to be said,
Everybody has, because I've actually moved out not a million miles from where I'm, about 19-20 kilometres from where you're originally from.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious.
Why?
Everybody has a Neil Delamere story.
Oh, really?
But they're the most innocuous stories of things like, I went to school with a cousin of his. As soon as they mention comedy at all, or they recognise me slightly or whatever, they go, do you know Neil Delamere? She's a lovely man.
Oh, really? I was hoping there'd be... he threw a television out a window. Television didn't break because it was a Travelodge. So
I've met nobody who genuinely knows you. Everybody has an association with you.
Yeah.
You could easily go back and be king.
You could be king of Offaly.
Just take it. Just the principality of Offaly.
You see, I have a theory that, people slag off Offaly because, I think it's 34% bog, right? And people go, well, listen, I always used to say, sea levels are rising and you can't flood a bog.
No,
this is what's going to happen. There's going to be a big
and
palisade.
The amphibious people of Offaly will know exactly what to do.
A palisade around it, and it'll be me, Mundy, and Brian Cowan on the top with pointy sticks and just battering people from Kildare. Get away with your good land. Get out. Yeah, so that maybe I'll bring back the King of Offaly moniker at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, secede from the. Didn't Wexford try to secede from the Union at one stage?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that now.
And you can
do a documentary on that next.
Yeah, why not? I tell you, there has to be. I was down there a couple of weeks ago doing a show, and you would know it, but there is I don't think they got hit by any crash whatsoever.
In Wexford?
I can't see it. It's the whole Wexford town, all the place was shops that had been established a long time, but it looked like...
It's a good spot, Wexford. It's always been a good spot, I think.
There's money down there,
Yeah, well, it has an opera festival. I think there's your clue.
Yeah.
There's no Offaly opera.
There's no fucking Tipperary one either.
Opera festival, exactly, yeah. No, it's always been good. It's always been, even if you look at the names of Wexford, and Wexford itself, it has that, they're all X's and Sulsker and all that. Yeah. So it's all Viking stuff, which means it was a port, which means it had a few quid in it, and then it has a few quid from Dublin and people going down to holiday homes and stuff. So it's always been a really good vibe down there, and the comedy down there has been brilliant. I used to MC a club down there. There was a tiny little club, was on the main street. It was called Finnegan's on the main street, and it maybe had room for 40 people at a push. And we did that for donkey's years, every single month, to the extent that you wouldn't be able to do it in another place. You wouldn't be able to do it in another town where people weren't up for something new, and the bar owner really put his weight behind it as well. And it was just great crack. It was just a brilliant gig, and it was genuinely the same 40 people every single month.
But it must have been the same 40 people came to see me that night. But I was amazed that anybody did, because Buca Brass were playing up the road.
Yeah.
and they had like 150 people, and this is a town that you go, do you really have 200 people on a Wednesday night?
Yeah, but and then there's the Wexford Opera House,
yeah,
which is 800 people, and then there's gigs in the various hotels, and then there's the Model Arts Centre as well. So there's definitely kind of thriving scene down there in Wexford, more so than there would be in other counties in Ireland, definitely, you know.
Yeah, it's an odd one. What makes it the people happier? Are people in Offaly good to go out?
Oh, they're cool crack. I love doing gigs in Offaly.
Yeah,
I love doing gigs. Like, well, that's one of the questions you usually get asked when it's, you know, is there a difference between doing kind of Melbourne or Montreal or Edinburgh or anything like that? They're great because what they make you do is they make you kind of non-specify your stuff, if that's a verb. You know, you have to talk about big general things. But the great thing is when you go home, no more than you do when you go to Tipperary, if you're messing around with the audience or something like that, like there isn't even a millisecond where you have to check the reference in your head.
No,
all these people are going to know what Bord de Mon is. All these people are going to know what Calvita cheese is. Do you know what I mean? So that's the great crack of going back there, and the gigs are really, really good, you know.
We had a nice night. That was I think that was a surprise all around how class that night turned out in Banshee, County Tipperary that night.
Oh, that was great. Yeah, we did a fundraiser for in a GAA club in Banshee, and it was just I think those little gigs sometimes if they're rammed and the whole kind of community is at it, it's like some sort of gig during the war or something. There's a real we're all on board.
Like somebody's checking the window, keeping sketch. Like
turn off those lights because somebody will bomb the town. The Germans, the Luftwaffe will come over. But I think that there's a real. It's just the alchemy of a gig, isn't it?
Yeah,
There's various different things that impact on a gig, and like the geography, the topography of a room is one thing, but sometimes it's just the people in the room buying into it or not. Like that's the one thing you learn when you do Edinburgh. It's not the number of people, it's whether they're up for it or not. I had 11 people at the gig in Edinburgh and I threw 3 out.
Did you?
Donkeys years ago. I didn't throw them out. I went like, you're not enjoying it. Like this was a long time ago. I said, you're not really enjoying this. And I knew the other 8 people, oddly enough, were into it. And when you've 11 people and 3 are kind of not interested, I said, I won't be offended if you go. And they went. And the remaining 8 people, we great crack.
Brilliant.
We did all sorts of madness in it, you know.
I had a woman one time. This is my first ever show I ever did at Edinburgh, and there was 9 people in it. And this one woman broke down crying about 5 minutes in. And when I had to address the situation, turns out she had been on the beer. It was a 5 o'clock show. She'd been on the beer since 7 a.m.
Wow.
But it was because it was her father's month's mind. He got stabbed just outside the door of the venue on one previous. Yeah. So it was,
wow. Yeah. And you kind of come across that 5 minutes into your set.
5 minutes into my first ever time performing.
Did your tech come up to you afterwards and go, you know, this it's not always like this. This isn't going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, he was nice about it, like, but it was, in fairness, he was there, and my girlfriend at the time, she was down the back, and she assisted her out.
Wow.
But she couldn't get her beyond the actual door of the venue, so it was a strong timber door, so you could hear her wailing just outside the door. So
it's like a banshee.
It was.
Did a member of your family die soon afterwards?
Yeah,
because that's what that's like. She turns up to all your gigs now, and you know that you're going to have to go to a funeral yourself. Yeah. But that's the thing, if you can get over that in your first show, you can get over anything.
Yeah. But it was quite literally, I think you had given me advice. You'd said you may as well point out, if it's going off the fucking rails, point out that it's going off the rails. Like, or you know what I mean, if a situation has arisen.
Yeah, you can't, like, with 9 people, you can't not address that.
Yeah, yeah. But it was, there was no, it was...
Then there's a release of tension when you do that, and everybody kind of goes, oh, okay, that's grand. He knows this is weird. We all know it's weird. He knows it's weird, so it's fine, you know.
When did you start comedy?
I started comedy in 2001.
In Dublin?
Yes, in Dublin. In the International Bar, the Comedy Cellar, as it was. It still is, obviously, Wednesday night, but that was before there was the Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. I think there was a gig on Thursday night. And I had seen Dara O'Brien, Deirdre O'Kane and Eddie Bannon in DCU when I was a student in DCU, and I was sitting on the floor of the pub. That's how rammed the bar was, the DCU bar. So Eddie MC'd, Deirdre went on first, and Dara closed in probably 2000, and it was brilliant. God, I'd love to have a go at this. So I tried it. I had no interest in doing it as a full-time career. I didn't realise it was a career, you know. I didn't realise it was an option. So I did it, and really liked it. But there used to be a really long waiting list to get into the Comedy Cellar.
Was there?
Oh yeah, it was months.
Almost New York comedy style, like.
Yeah, it was.
Was there anywhere else? Where else was on the go?
The
then?
Halfpenny Bridge was on the go, and you could get into the Halfpenny Bridge easily enough. And so I used to just keep going there. And I can't remember many gigs, but you might have done 40 gigs in your first year, 45 gigs, or one a week maybe, by hustling here, there, and everywhere. But maybe 40 gigs. And I remember talking to a London guy, and he had just started at the same time as me. And sure, they did 40 in the first 6 weeks.
Yeah, of course they did. Yeah.
We were only running ourselves in, and they were getting all sorts of experience, you know. So I think sometimes, even now, but certainly then, that when you did comedy, you met those other guys, and they had developed in a different way. And there's certainly more experience quicker, but that's not necessarily a good thing. No. It was in lots of ways, but in other ways it wasn't, you know, because they were forced by kind of rowdy London crowds to do a certain type of comedy, I suppose, you know.
But that's it, I suppose. Whereas I suppose we probably get to stretch our legs a bit more here.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you never had to move.
Never had to move, no.
That's inspirational stuff, you know what I mean? Because I've absolutely no want to
no
go.
Intention.
I've no intention, nor no want to.
Well, I suppose it depends. I was very lucky in that I started doing stand-up in the middle of an economic boom, really. And an economic boom will be reflected in all parts of society. So it won't just be construction and IT and all the rest. It'll be entertainment as well, because people have disposable income and all the rest. So if you think of myself and say Des and PJ and Des a little bit before us, PJ's a little bit before me, but around that era kind of, so Des would have broken big in kind of 2000 probably 3 or 4.
Oh, yeah.
PJ the same with Nick a Camera, and then The Pan was on as well at the same time, started in 2004. So loads of money in the country, people confident, people have disposable income. 200,000 or 300,000 young people are here.
Yeah.
That then subsequently went to Australia. Yeah. So I mean, we had a kind of a golden age, really.
Yeah.
And from that foundation, none of us.
But you ran with it, though. In fairness,
none of the three of us had to go anywhere. Yeah, because.
What do you make? I mean, like you're you radio host, and you've had TV shows and documentary maker, but at heart you're a stand-up.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you make? Or do you care? Obviously, these internet sensations that.
I think it's a great thing, because I think it's a democratization of content, isn't it? And if stuff is good, people like it and tune into it. And like, if you look at people who I think both of us are big fans of, who are Foil Arms in the Hall, like they were on my documentaries and were on Jason Byrne's show, and everybody who has in comedy has been fans of those lads for a while.
Yeah.
But I think we can all agree that they broke really because they have their sketches, and their sketches go on YouTube, and their sketches then get picked up by all the papers and Jodorly and Independently and all the rest. So I mean, there's the case in point. There's your answer to that question, that those guys were discovered by the internet, if you know what I mean. And now we're doing huge numbers, and like their overnight successes after years and years and years of really quality work, you know. But no more than anything else. I mean, some of it isn't great. Some telly isn't great, I suppose.
Yeah, but that's it.
Some radio isn't great,
But there's some of it, like, it's hard to wrap your head around that, and it makes me feel old. Then
that's a different generation.
I absolutely don't get this at all.
Yeah, I remember doing. But one of the key points of growing up is that you know that it's not for you. I remember when we were doing the first series of Republic of Telly, and I was talking to the producer about something, and I was saying to him, so I was doing the Republic of Telly, and then after one series of Republic of Telly, I had the choice between doing that or going back to the panel.
Yeah.
So I picked the panel because it was on RT1, and I had done it for so many years and all the rest. But I remember in the first year talking to the producer, and I was saying, God, this TV show is rubbish. And he goes, yeah, it's not for you though. Yeah. And I went, oh yeah, not everything's about us. So the older you get, the more you realise that, and I don't mean, you don't have to be 50 to realise this. You can realise this at 30 or 35.
I knew I was even in the wrong show when I did Dame on Ivor, because 16-year-olds shout at me. Or shouted at me, like, and I'm going, what? And there's nobody in their 30s shouting at me, you know what I mean, or even recognising me. Like, it's bizarre. It was like, I see this show is completely aimed at elder teenager boys. That's who it's named. But
I suppose that's, as long as you can realise that, and as long as you're happy enough to plough your own furrow, it's fine, you know. But I've seen it from both ends. So you do So exactly the Republic of Telly or the panel, for example, in those days would be a lot of students at it and all that. Whereas like the show I do now in the North on BBC Northern Ireland,
the Blame Game.
The Blame Game is a topical thing, and the people who follow the news, and particularly BBC One, which is Johnny mainstream station, they're in their 30s and 40s. And then another guy on that show, Jake, who's in his 50s, his audience, when he says he looks out, there's more grey hairs and more bald people and all that. So the identification of audience demographics is kind of interesting. I don't think you should ever kind of pitch for it. I think you should just do what you want to do, and then whoever turns up.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a rough one to try and get.
Don't second guess it.
No. Because even we were talking beforehand with Tom Green the last couple of weeks, it was mind blowing to see who showed up there. There was people in their 60s who could remember his shows and stuff. But then there was guys that you knew never darkened the door and never will again
of a comedy gig.
A comedy gig. No, they were sitting there straight faced, but give a standing ovation at the end of it.
Well, that's the thing about Edinburgh as well. I remember being in Edinburgh with somebody, and they were kind of talking about, why is nobody going to see my show? And you're going, I did a show there one year, and it was about Blackboard Jungle, and me being in Blackboard Jungle, and all this footage and all the rest. And one of the guys who was in the footage with me, who had been on the Blackboard Jungle team in school with me, came and he saw the show, and I said, did you see anything else in Edinburgh? There's thousands of shows. And he went, but sure, where would you start? It's overwhelming, and I think that is one of the things that comics forget, because we're so wrapped up in ourselves, and we go, why is nobody going to see my show? You're going, well, the people turn up to Edinburgh and they've got thousands of shows to go and see. Your job is to reduce the gamble. That's all your job is to do. It's just reduce the gamble of them to go to see you. So either you get great reviews, you get great word of mouth, you do some telly that they know, or somebody else they know sees you. All those things will reduce the chances of you being terrible.
Because it's a crapshoot, really.
It's a crapshoot, and you can't expect a punter going up there. He works 9 to 5, and he has X amount of money to spend on shows. You can't expect him to go to see 10 shows. He might go and see 2 shows, and he's going to go and see somebody he knows. So you have to hope that maybe you might get a shot at being the second show or the third show.
I saw Paul. Did you know Paul Curry?
Yes,
he did great. He had it he was in graphic design before, and he did a great thing. He showed up about 4 days prior to the festival kicking off. And his posters were all hard posters, they were on timber. Wow. Printed on timber. But they were almost in neon mustard.
Right.
You could see his poster
from miles away.
Quite literally down the mile. You could see it the mile of it. You knew whose poster it was. And he apparently used his girlfriend as it was almost like a land surveying they were doing. He'd have her stand at certain directions and the volume of traffic of people, and he'd angle that poster towards him.
Way.
Now, he got nailed by the county council because these posters were on poles they should have never been on. But it worked for the first 5 days, and that was enough to get the ball rolling.
That's the finest thing I've ever heard in Edinburgh. Was there was a big poster down, I think, Cowgate, a big poster, billboard site. And that's my dog in the background, in case people are wondering what that noise is.
It's not Neil just having a scratch.
Just tapping away. And who was it who bought it? Tim Vine. So there was a big billboard site, and everybody wanted it. Apparently, all the big show acts wanted this. So he bought this for the whole month with a poster, and the poster said, "Tim Vine will not be appearing at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival this month," and everybody talked about it for the entire month.
That's amazing.
It's a brilliant piece of PR, isn't it?
Wow. And what have you to do? There's a standard every year now when you take a new show on the road. What you would do for PR.
In Ireland? Or
in Ireland. I suppose it's good enough. You have there's Neil Delamere fans, and they'll have people look out for it.
Yeah, you just have to let them know it's on. I suppose if you tour every single year, it can be a little. You have to be a little bit creative, because you're going back to the same outlets.
Yes,
same media outlets. But I have the radio show, so people are aware that you're out there, and then the stuff in the north obviously just sells in the back of the Blame Game. But I play the same places at the same time as well, so people know that I'll be playing Waterford Theatre Royal in January X. So the key is you just if you get the punters in the door, to make it a good night. It's as simple as
That's
that.
it, yeah.
You know, because there's so much choice now. They can go and see anybody at any time, or they can stay in and watch Netflix. So you got to give them their money's worth, you know.
And you're doing Edinburgh as well this year?
I'm doing Edinburgh this year, yeah. I did it because I just have a bit more time this year. Like last year was kind of chaotic, really.
Yeah.
There was so much going on. There was we did Eureka, and we did the stunts for Eureka, and we filmed the actual panel show over a very short period of time, and then we had the Blame Game, and we had radio cover and all sorts of madness, right? So this year I have a little bit more time, so I decided I'd go back and do Edinburgh, because I did it last year. I only did 8 days last year. It was a very last minute thing, and I forgot. It was really good fun. It was really good fun. And this year I have kind of a show that I want to talk about specifically. So I'll do that, and as soon as that is finished, I'll take that on the road again in Ireland in the next kind of. I've just finished a handstand tour. Like, we did 50 or 60 dates, and now I'm getting the new show ready for Edinburgh. Once that's finished, I'll start touring that round.
Class. Oh, well,
the it's called Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Pensioner.
I love it. And will you bring that show back here then?
Yeah.
And all back to the usual places and
all
the rest.
Yeah, same place.
Was Eureka? I mean, that looked like a fun show.
Oh yeah, it was great.
You showed me even some stuff on your phone. It was you in a zero gravity airplane.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we went to.
That's like almost nobody will ever get to do that.
Yeah, we went to Bordeaux, and it's Angela Merkel's old plane, by the way. It's a state plane from the Germans, and it's now been repurposed for the European Space Agency. I think they're called something in French, maybe, I can't remember. And
sort of French accent, the European
Bassage, I see.
You silly
they follow Madonna with the big boobies. And they just bring this thing up, and they dive it pretty much, and at the kind of top of the arch, at the top of the parabola, you become weightless. It is mental.
How long do you get to be weightless?
About 20 seconds, yeah.
But
they do it about I think it's 15 times. So the first thing they do is to give you lunar gravity. So they dive it at a less steep angle,
right? So
you become a little bit lighter.
Yes.
You don't go from nothing to zero gravity because you would freak out.
Okay,
So you go lunar gravity.
I imagine
first.
you'd empty your lunch as well. Like.
You would, but oddly, there's no toilets on the plane. There's nothing. So it's just
a tube.
There's seats, there's some netting, and then there's the floaty round space, and it's all padded, obviously.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to ask, it's the chance of busting your.
Oh yeah, I leathered an old woman in the face. Oh, I absolutely, like, full on Eric Cantona 1997 Crystal Palace fan, like, in the gob,
wearing the black jersey.
Oh yeah, and she kind of came to rest, and she hit off. Completely accidentally, obviously, but she hit off maybe 2 or 3 before coming to the, cushions before coming to. It would have been a great safety shot in snooker, basically. She came to rest on the ball cushion. Yeah. She goes, "Did you see what happened? Somebody kicked me in the face." And I said, "Who did that?" She goes, "I don't know." And I said, "I think it was that little Danish kid over there." You should be probably worried about that. But it was an amazing experience. You do it lunar gravity first, then Martian gravity, and then zero gravity, and you do that for maybe 11 or 12 times, something like that. They've calculated that if you do it something like 20 times, more than 3/4 of people will puke their guts up. But they've calculated that if you do it something like 12 or 15 times, the vast majority of people don't.
Okay.
So there is a cumulative effect on your system where you get a little bit.
Were you feeling
freaked out? No, I wasn't. No, I was quite.
That's the bumpy roads in Offaly, you see.
Bog roads.
The bog roads. That back road between Rathangan there and whatchamacallit.
There in Rathangan, that is the exact one.
That's the road.
Yeah. I love getting passed out on that road by somebody who doesn't know the road. Somebody passes you out and they go, "This road is straight," and they know it's straight. That's fair enough.
Straight.
They have no idea, and then you just see spark coming out of the arse.
As it undulates down.
Yeah, you later pass them, and basically they're holding their exhaust pipe in their hands. But that's what it was. Yeah, it was that was an amazing experience. And then we got to go with the German bobsled youth team to kind of demonstrate friction, and we got to go to.
Did you get to go on the bobsled?
Oh yeah, it was great crack. Yeah, bobsled.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Is it true that lads that if they're doing it all their life, and by the time they get to Olympic standard and stuff, it actually shortens them quite physically, compresses their
I think
spine.
so. I think I saw that on. I think Richard Hammond said that on Top Gear once, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't need to lose any more height." I mean, going
was
on,
it that kind of force? Like
going on some of the serious bends, I mean, you're like a rag doll. Your neck's all over the place. Yeah. So we did it a good few times just so we could get the proper shots, but it was great. Like, and the whole the whole TV show was really good. I mean, we were doing that, and in the middle of recording those shows, you're sitting there going, and you're comparing it to, like, I've done the Blame Game, I've done the panel, I've done Breaking the News, like in for the BBC in Scotland,
and you're sitting there
one as well, but specifically in panel show terms, you're sitting there going, this is as good as any other panel show we've ever done, and it also has this added element of the science stuff in it. Like, some of the science guys were brilliant. Like Professor Luke O'Neill is, I think, is his second. So if people didn't see the show, you had I was the host, and you had comedian panelists and science panelists, and the science panelists were serious science. So one of them was Professor Luke O'Neill, who did all the shows. He's the second most cited scientist in Europe or something.
Oh my God.
Second or third anyway. He has a friend, and his friend was offered, I think, 150 grand or 200 grand for a sperm.
What?
Because the guy had won a Nobel Prize for science, yeah.
God.
And the guy said, "She don't want me." He said, "I'm a Nobel Prize winner. You want my dad's sperm?" Because he produced a Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
And he's a taxi driver in Grenoble or something like that, and he'll take your 200 grand or something for you. Yeah.
Jesus.
So these boys are operating at a different level, and we professors of genetics and Eva McLeisett and all these people, and they were just amazing. It's just amazing to sit there as a professional messer with somebody who's
I can never imagine somebody
respectable, you know,
asking one of us, like, because they want this funny kid,
our opinion on anything. yeah.
But that's the beauty of being you on the show, is that as a comedian, your opinion and your facts can be way off. Nothing needs to be nailed down.
You're very much
expecting almost nothing to be nailed down. Like,
you're very much a lay person, and what do you mean by X, Y, and Z? Yeah, it's the same thing that people do with Kilconomics. You know, the economics in Comedy Festival. You're just there to say to Dave McWilliams, but hold on, what does that actually mean for somebody who lives in a small town and in negative equity, etc., etc. You know,
because during the film of that, and I don't know, is it a reflection on me or what some people think of me, but I got rang while you were making it, as we both know the producer, and producer's husband rang me and said, "Tom, would you know where to get a monster truck?" And I said, why would you? He went, "You were just the first bloke."
You probably did, though, did you?
I did, yeah.
Well, there you go. That's how things work in this country.
But I had no idea that anybody would have related me to a monster truck.
But rather than going online or looking up something on, we'll bring some sort of production company. In Ireland, it's, I know a fellow who knows a fellow who probably can get you a monster truck.
Yeah. And they were right enough. I mean, I did, but it turns out it was clapped out, the same one.
Our friend Willie usually gets these things. You know, Willie?
Yeah. Oh, Willie.
Yeah.
He got Fred's car, didn't he?
Did he?
He did. He got Fred's car for the show.
Willie's a comedian. If people don't know him, and he's great crack, but he can also get you anything. To the extent that I seem to remember a couple of the comics had a bet one day. They went, just think of something. And one of the boys went, "Ride on lawnmower." "Okay, we'll try it." And they rang Willie and said, "Can we get a ride on lawnmower?" And Willie went, "Yeah, I'll get you one of those. Give me 20 minutes." And he did as well. I know a fellow in Husqvarna. Yeah, because the last time I talked with him, he just walked up the stairs of the International. I was about to go on, and he wasn't even on. He was just passing. I popped in and he says, "Glad I met you. Glad I caught you." I says, "Yeah." He's got a bit of venison for you. And just walked back down the stairs. That was it. I then had to go out. Someone's killed Bambi. Yeah.
I had to go out onto the stage with that in my head going, what did he mean by this? Is that code word for something? Like,
you get out and there's a deer tied to the front of your car. Yeah, that's how this country works. But see, the thing is, you did know somebody who could get you monster trucks. So
that's the reality of it. Well, I suppose on that delightful note, we should actually, before we finish up, what venue in Edinburgh?
I'm actually playing a museum.
Are you?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's how old jokes will be. No, I did it last year, and it's a lecture hall in the Museum of Scotland. They're letting me do a gig in the Museum of Scotland, and it's a great little venue. It's not that little actually. And it's just off. It's part of the Gilded Balloon complex, and it's just off Bristol Square there. So that's where the entrance is. So that's where it's going to be from this 2nd of August till the very end.
Fair play, you're going to stick with it?
Or we'll see. If I'm ringing you in 2 weeks in going, "Do you know that monster truck? I need to get out of here. I don't want to take as many flyers as I can on the way out. Get me that monster truck." But yeah, we ended up using a monster truck in Eureka, so that was great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Any more TV shows? Any more? Of course, there's going to be more.
Yeah, we got more Blame games coming up in the autumn, and then
any more Saints you'd like to maybe follow up on?
Oh, in terms of St. Patrick.
Yeah, that was a really fun show too.
That was one of the best things you've done. Yeah.
What did I play? I was in some part I was in with Paddy Courtney and Foyle Arms and Hawk in one part of it anyway.
Yeah.
We were in a church over in Crumlin.
I think, of course.
Yeah,
of course you were.
It was a castle which is the most mind
blowing.
blowing.
A castle.
It was the most mind blowing thing.
Yeah, it's just
individual.
school. I know. Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Yeah.
It's this amazing castle.
I think if there was more kind of stories that we could kind of uncover, which there's loads of in history, that if somebody came to me and went, would you make this? Yeah, I'd be interested in doing that. But for the moment, with the radio and the touring and the blame game, that's
you haven't time to bless yourself.
That's it for the moment. Well, there's a couple of things I'd like to have a look at, but no more than anything else, I'd have to kill you if I told you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much, Neil Delamere.
It's been a pleasure.